Okay, guys. Sorry I'm not here today. I am giving you a video explanation of the assignment I left for you with the sub to complete. Also, your instructions were posted on the board. I want you to understand, those of you who are new to having me this semester, these are pretty much the expectations and things we will be doing for you so you do not miss out on opportunity of instruction. And your first bonus point opportunity will be if you should have your name and your partner's name on the graph on the second page of your packet. And if you complete this assignment, and I'm not even going to stress on the coloring because you do have to color on this assignment, but if you complete all the problems, get them graphed, get your answers in the boxes that we have provided here, and you turn it in before the end of the day, your class period, you'll get 10 bonus points. I'll probably resubmit it to you so you can do the coloring aspect of it, but if you get it done before the end of the class period between you and your partner, you will have 10 bonus points. So column 1 is for partner A, column 2 is partner B. So each partner is only doing 10 problems. So I'm going to go through a couple of these because you have to do them on the graph, and so you understand what you're going to be held responsible for and what I'm going to be grading. So you're going to graph each pre-image and image under the given transformation. Identify matching answers between column 1 and column 2, and then color this done accordingly. So we'll talk about the coloring on the last aspect. So I gave you attached was a graph sheet, and I believe it has underneath there your partner's name. So make sure you add that, whoever you're working with in your group, add their name and what column they are completing. Alright, so I'm going to start off with the number of what problem you're working on in that graph. On number 1, if your partner in column A is your, I guess, freebie. It says reflect triangle ABC with the following coordinates: A, 3, -1, B, 1, -5, and C, -2, -2 on the x-axis, in the x-axis. It says what are the coordinates of B? So what I expect you to do is, let me go ahead and minimize this, is first graph the points. We're going to check that you graph the triangle correctly. Label the points as well. So we have 3, -1, that is our A. B, we have 1, -5. And then C was -2, -2. So here's our B and here's our C. We're going to connect them. And then they want us to reflect this triangle in the x-axis. So x-axis is our horizontal. A reflection is equal distance from that line of reflection. So if you could just go straight to your rule. Our rule says that we keep same x, but we change the sign of y. So basically, if A was 1 unit away from the x, then it would be 1 unit above. So there's A. B, we had 1 -5, so it's going to be 1 +5. And then C was -2, +2. And my C is a little off, but that is the -2 and the +2. And we are going to reflect it and connect the dots as such. And then they wanted you to find, for column 1, they wanted you to give the order pair for B. And B was 1, 5. So we're just going to box that answer. And I'm just going to check if you have the correct graphs and you have the correct answer that goes in the box of column 1. Now, if you were column 2 partner, and I'm going to go ahead and do this on the right side, it says we're going to reflect the square. So we're going to go ahead and graph our square. S was -4, +4. And then when T was -1, +6. U was 1. Oops, I put that in the wrong spot. Sorry. -1, +6. Then it was 1, +3. And then V was -2, +1. So we had S, T, U, B. We're going to connect the points. And on this one, they want us to reflect it in the x-axis as well. And now they want us to get the V point. Now, I know, if you know your rule, because I added a rule sheet that has the rules on them, and I'll just give me a second. I'll show that to you and where you need to find that information. I need to make sure that you at least give the points. So if you can get through the points, which I know some of you can do with just the rule. So when I check the front page where your boxes have the answers to each problem, that's the easy way to kind of get those bonus points. But I will be checking for graphs and making sure we have them graphed correctly. So reflection of the x-axis, they want the coordinates of v. V is 1 unit above the x-axis, so v prime would be at -2, -1. Oops, -1. Wait, we're going to go ahead and graph the actual reflection. So either you can count the units above, so like I'm 1, 2, 3 above the x-axis here. If I look 1, 2, 3, then I can just do 1, 2, 3 below. Or because you know when you reflect over x, the x stays, the y changes, you can do your points as such. So go ahead and graph your reflection and then put your points in the box. So that's just a review of reflection. And I'm going to show you the cheat sheet that I posted to help you get your answers real quickly as well, because there's explanations to your rules for each type of transformation. Just wait just a second. Okay, part of your attachment was this transformation rule sheet. Basically, I gave you explanations of what to do for each type of transformation. I know some of my classes we did this, and you turn this in. It's still in the tray if you need to refer to it, but you have it here as well as a reference sheet to help you get through the problems. So, with that being said, if I go back to, those are our examples of reflections, and we have our answers here. We had, this one was 1, 5, and then for the second, the partner, -2, -1. So have your partner do all of column 2, whoever, and one partner do all of column 1, get it done before the period, and compare answers, because you do have to do some matching at the end. Now, on number 4, we look here, because those are reflections. And well, let's look at 2 real quick, because both of those were reflections over x. On 2, they want us to reflect, the key word here is they want us to reflect in the y-axis, okay? So our rule, because it's y, now the y is going to stay the same, and the x is going to change. So here's the shortcut. Instead of graphing, and I know you can graph it, because they want us to know the coordinate of m. We know m is 2, -1. Remember, reflective of the y stays, the x change. So then that means that the answer here would be the x changing -2, -1. So I know you can get the answer without graphing. Just understand that I am going to be checking the graphs. You can get through the assignment and get your bonus points still by getting the right answer and using your reference sheet, okay, or just your mind, because I know it's powerful, and get your answers as well. So there's reflections. Then we have translations, and we've been talking about using the component form to do our translations. We talked about T is our symbol for translation, capital T, and then we have X, comma, Y. All right, but here they're going to use algebraic form or mapping algebraically, and they're still going to give you the form, but they're going to actually tell you what you're going to do in the translation, what you're adding or subtracting to each X and Y coordinate. So I know it's possible you get the answer by just following the rule, but we are going to check for your graph as well. So here on number 4, we're translating the rhombus. It should look like a rhombus, RSTU, and give us the coordinates for those vertices. Under the rule, X, I believe it's +5, Y -3. This is what's the coordinates of R. So then if I look at R right now, we got -1 and 6. So what are we doing to X? We're going to add 5 to it. So basically, we're going to have a -1 plus 5. That's our X. And for our Y's, we're subtracting 3. So this is 6 minus 3. And I know you can do that mentally and just put it in your order pair and get your answer. But basically, we know that we're going to have 4, 3. Okay? So I know, like I said, you can read the question, underline, identify the key words, what type of transformation you're doing. Like this was translation. You are going to have as well some rotation. So like if you look at number 6, we have a rotation. And it says counterclockwise, rotating counterclockwise about the origin. we're doing 90 degrees. So we have a rule for that. You can go back to your rule sheet if you want to access that. I know it's kind of blurry here, but basically our rule sheet says, whoa, lost. All right, sorry about that. Sorry about that. So there is the reference sheet if you want to use that. Okay, so the rule for rotating 90 degrees is negative y comma x, or first change the y and then switch change the sign of y and then switch x and y. Since we're doing that for point E, then we should know that we would get 7 comma negative 3. So then if you look in column 2, that was a 90 degree. We have one that's 180. Let's look at this one. So number 7, they want a 180 degree rotation. And that rule is negative x, negative y. So you're changing the sign of both. And then they might want the coordinate of g. And the last type of transformation, which we haven't, really practiced. We kind of just talked about it in some classes compared to others, is a dilation. And so you have a dilation example on number 9. It tells us we're going to dilate the triangle KLM using the scale factor of 2. And on your reference sheet, your rule sheet, when you're dealing with a dilation, K is your scale factor. Basically, that's your number that you're going to multiply every x and y by. So you're going to multiply both terms by the scale factor. And so since they want us to multiply by 2, we want the dilation of K. K was negative 2, 1, so we're going to multiply everything, both term by 2, and we know that would be negative 4, 2. Alright, so, like I said, make sure you graph, put your partner's name, list which column you're doing, and what you're going to have to do when you're done for your coloring is you're going to match the answers that went together. So like, I think this one over here was, this one was, because I changed the sign of both. I didn't even put the answers down. I apologize for that. But because we're doing the rotation of, which point was it? G. So G was negative 7, 3, so that becomes positive 7, negative 3. Okay, so right there, if you look, these two go together, they're the same answer. That means for every 6 that I see on my sun, I'm going to color it dark blue. And you have attached to the back of your instructions, here's your graph, let me move up, a little sun. That's part of your coloring activity. So where I see the number 6 in that space, I would end up coloring it blue. So if you don't get to the coloring, that's okay. You complete the problem. Like I said, if you check Edmodo, you'll have other bonus opportunities. If you are not on Edmodo, you just need to send me a request and I can access it throughout the day and add you on. Please work with your partner to get the information. And the first person on Edmodo that would type that Ms. Hardaway's favorite color is red will get an additional 5 points. Alright, thank you for watching the video. Please take care of your work and the expectation in my classroom, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye.